Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing about the C# variables. What are variables that we will be discussing? So variables are nothing but a special name which is given to any of the element that it occupies a storage area, which occupies what? A storage area in the memory. Okay, that is said to be what a variable is. A variable is what? It's a element which is said to be occupying a specific area within the memory. That is said to be called as a variable. Okay, and this variable type, it consists of various types and it consists of various sizes. Okay, it occupies a various type is nothing but data type, int, float, double, and whereas the size is nothing but each int, float or double, it will be having its own specific size that it will be mentioned, and it will be occupying a special variable area in the memory. Okay, and the variables are also a set of elements which will be doing some of the operations, like it may be adding an element, it may be like you can do manipulations on that particular variable, and you can use everywhere, you can use multiple times the particular variable. Okay, so that is a variable. Remember, variable, it's nothing but it occupies a special storage area in the memory. It has its own size and it has layout of its own in the memory, and it can be stored with various operations in the memory and can applied many times in the programmatic concept. Okay, that is said to be a variable. Variable also can be of many types. It can be integral type. Okay, variable can be of integrable type, it may be floating type, decimal type, boolean type, or it may be nullable type. Nullables are nothing but with assignments with question marks. Okay, either when the elements are said to be used with a question mark means what? It may have the value which is on the sides of the question mark, or if the question mark is not mentioned means it will not directly, whichever value is being specified, it may take that particular value. And integral part, we had yesterday learned about byte, s byte short, u short, int, u int. All those are the parts of data types which belong to the variables. Okay, the variables also occupies of different types. You can check here, the variables may accept the types, nothing but data types of enum type, reference type also, which may use the classes, interfaces, everything. Okay, within the variables it can take. And the variables, this is the syntax how a variable is being assigned. You have in the beginning, you have the data type and the list of variables it may be there. For example, you have int a comma b comma c. So this is the variables list and this is your data type which is there. This is the variable syntax, and it may be applied for all other data types also. For example, character, int, float, double, all those, or user defined, whichever data types are there. Okay, and variables, this is an example. You can check out here how it is being assigned. You can check here int ijk, character c, ch, float f, salary, double t. And you have also the variables which can be initialized with value also. How it is being given is here, you can check out int I is equal to 100. Like this, variables are being assigned. Then variables, or also in the previous slides that we saw, variables can also be assigned as the variable name, whichever, and the value. Okay, we can express this value as like constant value everywhere. Okay, when I assign a variable there only with certain value, then it can be used in all over the program with that particular value only, or it can even be assigned with directly as in the beginning the data type which you mentioned, the variable and the variable's value. That variable, it may be int type, float type, double type, whichever it is, or boolean type. Okay, for example, you can check it out here. Int, you have d is equal to 3, f is equal to 5, byte, z is equal to 22, double 3.14159, and character x. All these are the types of variables which are there in session. Okay, And the variables are also can be have a practice of initializing in a proper way in the beginning only. Sometimes what happens is it may have some of the unexpected results. Unexpected results is nothing but I have applied something for the variable and it is coming out with a different concept. So here in the program you can check out for a demo. Here what does this sentence say? It's nothing but console read line is nothing but it is said to be reading only the line. So when I give a variable int num and num is equal to console dot read line, whatever you give in the num type, it will be accepted. But sometimes if I want to convert it into some other part, for example, here it is given as convert dot to int 32. Okay, whichever variable num is there, it will be taking only the value which is there of the type int type. Otherwise it will not accept any other thing. So when I give a num is equal to console dot read line, if I give a string also, it will accept that particular string. So it shouldn't happen. It should be accepting only the integer type. Then I will be mentioning in this way. So when I give an output, when output is being produced, it will be of the integer type when it is said to be accepted here. Okay. Another type is there in the variables. You have the L value and the R value. L value is the left hand side value and R value is the right hand side value. So only when a value is being specified, it should be your left hand side. In the syntax you can see here in the example which is being given here, which demonstrates the L and R concept. L and R concept is nothing but if int g is equal to 20 means what? G is your left hand side value and 20 is your right hand side value. L left hand side is nothing but which is the variable name, it will be specified in the left hand side, and variable's value it will be there on the right hand side. This is the proper way to convey your, it's a valid statement in variables. Whereas when you consider in this way, in the left hand side value is also a value and the right hand side is also a value, then this type of thing it is said to be a invalid one. It will be giving a compiler error. It will be not accepted by the compiler. So this is the concept which you learned about the variables from the beginning, like what are variables, which are the data types which are used for the variables, how the variables are said to be assigned with the syntax, how it is being assigned with the values, how it is being taking the value when you are using the console dot read line concept, and what do you mean by L value and R value in the variables, that you have said to be learned today. Okay, this is the part of variables, and in the next session we will be learning about the operators and the constants types. Okay.